You think you're original? You ain't original. You were programmed to be you.
The Princess Diana situation, recap it for us, give us the history, what we've already known, now mainstream news. Lay it out for us, sir.
They kept her in the tunnel until she died, symbolically crucified. Princess of Wales, wrist hit with nails underneath the bridge of the moon goddess. Ancient cocoon of the lawless involved the Queen Mother's hand. Darkness was this heartless card of hearts that started in Wonderland. Need we say that their DNA strand was now a part of Buckingham? A Lumerian plan set in motion by a Sumerian man would share a kiss cross an ocean. Then the Merovingian clan would set up the city of Paris, where this sacred marriage and murder would occur. As I prefer to try to convince, the lion next to an Egyptian prince was the best description since the destruction of a Mercedes-Benz. The night a lady and an unborn baby and friends left the Ritz and drove fast past an obelisk with no wrist, and crashed and kissed the 13th pillar. Her birth had been to fulfill a ritual, subliminally transforming the physical into spiritual. Now let me tell you why. 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 Princess Di had to die with Dodi Fayed to complete the triad, or trinity, and to suppress the femininity, the true divinity of the goddess that forever remains flawless. It was August 31st, 12:15, as the reporters asked themselves if their path was more stealth. Was Henry Paul in poor health, or was he just under the influence from the time of the departure to being rushed in an ambulance? In the land of France, as they left the hotel's back entrance for a quick getaway, decoy deployed Range Rover, game's over as the paparazzi were led astray. Her car sped away, hoping to see a better day. Right from the start, they went in the wrong direction of his apartment, and to her guard this meant that it was in his heart to prevent the cards that deceit dealt. That's why he felt the need to not strap on his seatbelt. Camera finger hits the trigger, flashing lights flicker, media messenger quicker. The proof is in the passenger's picture, ambassador's mixture of liquor that was given to her driver. But Trevor Reese Jones would be the only survivor of this sinister car crash. Her security captain was now mysteriously strapped in, allowing only him to exit from the star shaft. Now let me tell you why. 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 Princess Di had to die with Dodi Fayed to complete the triad, or trinity, and to suppress the femininity, the true divinity of the goddess that forever remains flawless. I'm only suggesting that British intelligence was testing her patience. Everywhere she went there were agents, always under surveillance. Dodi had made arrangements to fly to France to pick up the ring of engagement. And of this there was a statement, department store still waiting for its payment. So with it, I planned to dig deeper than a gopher with exposure, when I mixed the chauffeur that drove her with an MI6 soldier. It's over. Now let me tell you why. 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 Princess Di had to die with Dodi Fayed to complete the triad, or trinity, and to suppress the femininity, the true divinity of the goddess that forever remains flawless. From the 2nd century, if it wasn't meant to be, why was it written in Quatrain 28? The last son of the man with the prophet's name would bring Diana to her day of rest and fate. Let he who has ears to hear. 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 She's more than just a rusty old bag of nails. She's the red dragon on the flag of Wales. From once divided land comes the tribe of Dan, as this scribe at hand tries to describe her plan with more preciseness than a mind computer. She's lying to you, trying to fool you, claiming descent from David through the Lion of Judah. You've read the Da Vinci Code and now you're buying the rumor. I'll never let the stone of destiny get the best of me, or be thrown a bone as was shown a throne they suggest to be. Use once as a pillar for Jacob. Wake up as we watch them slowly fail. The Holy Grail becomes a fake cup. Elizabeth is a bitch, she is a bitch. Queen Elizabeth is a bitch, she is a bitch. This is a dedication to Elizabeth, a lizard's birth within the rich. Beware the dragon, the beast, and their false prophets. Beware the dragon, the beast, and their false prophets. Beware the dragon, the beast, and their false prophet. Of course, they're gonna ride the high horse until he falls off it. Beware the dragon, the beast, and their false prophets. Beware the dragon, the beast, and their false prophets. Beware the dragon, the beast, and their false prophet. Of course, they're gonna ride the high horse until he falls off it. The dragon gave her own power, throne, and authority to the firstborn beast, released on the majority. Body like a leopard with the feet of a bear, claiming descent from from a shepherd causing deceit and despair. Believe this, he's not only using Jesus to deceive us, but Islam's Muhammad, cause his mom's blue-blooded. This wisdom has flooded a fact that remains spectacular. There is some that trace and track the veins back to Dracula. According to Hebrew geometry, it's no wonder that you can calculate his official title into the number of a man. Understand, before we make 603 scoring 6, there'll be more than tricks as Babylon whores for kicks. Most can't die twice unless you're the Antichrist. So as he snarls over a large cup of tea, I offer a hand of rice when I get asked advice regarding why I don't want Charles in charge of me. Beware the dragon, the beast, and their false prophets. Beware the dragon, the beast, and their false prophet. Beware the dragon, the beast, and their false prophet. Of course, they're gonna ride the high horse until he falls off it. Beware the dragon, the beast, and their false prophets. Beware the dragon, the beast, and their false prophet. Beware the dragon, the beast, and their false prophet. Of course, they're gonna ride the high horse until he falls off it. The second beast unleashed would feast as a priest, uprise like yeast, creating lies about the East. The Vatican's mannequin, unspoken force like Anakin, this Trojan horse, keeper of the broken cross, cannot win. He opened doors and ran on it, provoking wars and laugh a bit. Fact, if I am accurate, most don't know the half of it. The path is lit and split between a Catholic and Baphomet, and after it is split, they'll admit the deception was immaculate. That's why I'm cracking the whip while reading the writing on the wall. Just like the captain of the ship, John Paul, Babylon must fall. Who in their right mind in the name of heaven kills? Looking, you might find who to blame on 7 hills. I don't mean to ramble on, but until this obstacle's gone, I'll be impossible to con like the Apostle Tom in the Gospel of John.
Babylon the Great is fallen. Babylon the Great is fallen.
Beware the dragon, the beast, and their false prophets. Beware the dragon, the beast, and their false prophets. Beware the dragon, the beast, and their false prophet. Of course, they're gonna ride the high horse until he falls off it. Beware the dragon, the beast, and their false prophets. Beware the dragon, the beast, and their false prophets. Beware the dragon, the beast, and their false prophet. Of course, they're gonna ride the high horse until he falls off it. Let he who has ears to hear. 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 Elizabeth is a bitch. She is a bitch. Queen Elizabeth is a bitch. She is a bitch. This is a dedication to Elizabeth, a lizard's birth within the rich. From the palace of Buckingham to the chalice of Uncle Sam, it's all Alice in Wonderland. From the palace of Buckingham to the chalice of Uncle Sam, it's all Alice in Wonderland.
Consequently, when you are born, you come out of your mother's water. Therefore, you must have a birth certificate, a certificate of manifest, because you are a corporation-owned item. You are a human resource. This goes back to the German Nazi concept that every human coming out of their mother's water must be birthed. And therefore you have to have a certificate, a manifest, to see how much this individual is going to make for us in our new world order. I'm telling you that until you understand the laws, the symbols, the emblems, what these words mean, you're never going to suspect how far gone we really are. Did you know, for instance, that your birth certificate is a security on the stock exchange in the New York stock market? Did you know that? Because if you order your birth certificate, get a new one, order your birth certificate, it'll only cost you, sometimes it's free, it'll only cost you a few dollars. Order your birth certificate. On your birth certificate, all birth certificates in this country, on the bottom, it will tell you this is printed on security papers. Do not accept if not on full color security paper. Then on the right-hand corner, you will always have a series of numbers, red numbers, printed on the birth certificate. Those numbers are a security stock exchange number on the World Stock Exchange. You go to any good stock office and ask them, check these numbers in your computer and see how much your stock is worth, the certificate. And they will check it on the New York Stock Exchange and find your birth certificate is a stock on the stock exchange in America. Why? Because you are worth money to the international bank that bought you in 1930. We need to wake up. This is serious stuff.
Let us never tolerate outrageous conspiracy theories concerning the attacks of September the 11th. Malicious lies that attempt to shift the blame away from the terrorists themselves, away from the guilty.
People are always asking me, yo, Gemini, what's your angle? Are you a devil or an angel? And I say both. as I continue to blame the Knights Templar and the Hospitallers, the real reason New York lost their towers. Don't sit back or hesitate to react to the impact. Many taking a nap. In fact, they would fake an attack to make way for the Patriot Act. Some say, hey, it ain't safe to say that, but it's the same game. Different name on the map as they place blame, and they aim at Iraq. It's a damn shame, cause they never claimed the hijack. Following the fiddle, one with a found hero, the town hero, responsible for ground zero. Objects in the mirror, close them, they appear so clear. Your ear to hear the sound of fear grow. Beware the evil, the dragon, and the ego. And footage that they show that we are forced to see slow. Persecuted and disputed because of what we know. The strings that control these kings come from below. Observe the nerve of this dark heart government, thinking they can avoid a spark with another myth. Walk right up, take the Ark of the Covenant. The cards have been pulled by the shark, and I'm loving it. Look hard, and you will find 7 heads of the beast behind 9/11, wrapped in fine linen. Even John Lennon couldn't imagine this modern day Armageddon. We've been ambushed, pushed to the edge, persecuted cause we disputed to know the ledge. Pledge allegiance, not even if the world stops turning. Never trust a bush unless it's burning. We've all been ambushed, pushed to the edge, persecuted cause we disputed to know the ledge. Pledge allegiance, not even if the world stops turning. Never trust a bush unless it's burning.
There is a chance for the President of the United States to use this disaster to carry out what his father, a phrase his father used, I think, only once, and hasn't been used since, and that is a new world order.
From junior to senior to Grandpa Prescott to the Nazi mouse house in the center at Epcot. Let's not forget the messed up mascot. Skull and bones picking up Geronimo's rest spot. These fallen thrones are not alone in their obsessed plot. These garden gnomes are butter homes, so I take my best shot. With the heart of stones, they are prone to never get caught. There's every cold phone details and emails on your desktop. Many be growing up gaudy like Mayor Giuliani, practicing karate with the Illuminati. Atanto Kimosabe, who's quick to kill somebody for the love of mud honey or a little blood money. I don't find these thugs funny, they sell drugs to Bugs Bunny. Not that it's any of my biz or that I'm his a Daffy Duck's buddy. Just hide it when they laugh at me and what my dreadlocks done. When they kill tiny children, left many building blocks bloody. The square and the compass and the almanac. Are you aware that they're amongst us and it's all an act? Some Yeza and his Ezra now come crawling back. Drove to Bohemian Grove dressed all in black. A serpent king worshipping a stone owl. The dragon Ronald Reagan ain't Colin Powell. Flipping scripture like Vanna White, showing a vowel. We have to plan to fight and never throw in the towel. We've been ambushed, pushed to the edge, persecuted cause we disputed to know the ledge. Pledge allegiance, not even if the world stops turning. Never trust a bush unless it's burning. We've all been ambushed, pushed to the edge, persecuted cause we disputed to know the ledge. Pledge allegiance, not even if the world stops turning. Never trust a bush unless it's burning.
Remember this, your government funded and trained Al-Qaeda.
Supreme Court's ruling that said that we must conduct ourselves under the Common Article 3 of the Geneva Convention. And that Common Article 3 says that, there will be no outrages upon human dignity. It's very vague.
Dames en heren, Nederland kan de tyfus krijgen.